Foundations of Amateur Radio. The thing I like about our community is that there is always something new brewing. Someone is inventing something, making something, or doing something. It amazes me that the level of ingenuity is boundless. During the week, someone asked the question, what's the difference between AM and FM? And while answering that could incorporate hand-waving, arrows and drawings, I came across a much simpler explanation, which simply says it all. Credit goes to redditor EmmetOT. Imagine replacing radio with light. This isn't a stretch since it's part of the same spectrum. Replace a radio transmitter with a light bulb. AM is using a dimmer, changing the brightness, to send information. FM is changing the color of the light to send information. I could stop right there, but there is so much more going on in our community. If you've been out of amateur radio for a while, and I know this happens to the best of us, you'll be forgiven in thinking that nothing is the same as it was, while wondering if anything ever changes. Both these things are true, and I think that's good. The first AM voice transmission was made in 1900. SSB experimentation began in 1915, and FM experiments were happening in the early 1930s. These three modes, AM, SSB and FM, are still with us today. We've done other cool stuff since then. Stereophonic and quadraphonic FM. We think of RTTY as a relative new kid on the block, but it has its origins in 1874, and the first on-air RTTY was heard in 1922. Without going into too much detail, other modes that we're beginning to think of as ancient are surprisingly new. PSK 31, for example, joined us in 1998. But Hellschreiber is from the 1920s, MFSK comes from 1962, and packet radio hails from the 1970s. JT65 comes from 2003, and JT9 is from 2012. My point is that whatever the mode you're using, someone is extending it, modifying it, improving it, or inventing something new. Your level of familiarity with a mode has little or nothing to do with the age of the mode, as is the case with everything in amateur radio, horses for courses. In your amateur pursuits, you'll come across those who will tell you that there is nothing new to be invented, that everything has already been thought of, and that we're a hobby of old people harking back to the golden era of something or other. I'm here to tell you that nothing is further from the truth. Amateur radio is a hobby of invention, of people asking the question, I wonder what happens if I do this? Often followed by a big bang and the magic smoke coming out. Don't let that deter you. Keep on with the experimentation. Even if you've only been a member of this community for a minute and a half like me, you too can make a contribution. I'm Ono, Victor Kilo 6, Foxtrot Lima Alpha Bravo.